Hello and welcome to Fintech Today. My name is Matt Hyde from Fintech Awards London, and I'm pleased to have the chair of the judging panel for today, Chris Woolard. Maybe you could just tell us a little bit about yourself, Chris.
Yeah, sure, Matt. So I'm Chris Woolard, partner at EY, and this year I'm helping to chair the judging panels at the London Fintech Awards.
Thank you. It's year 2 for you for being a chair. I suppose the logical question is why?
Yeah, why?
We don't pay very well, do we?
No, not at all. Only in biscuits.
Yes.
But I mean, look, this is a fantastic opportunity to meet some really, really top draw talent out of the fintech community. In all of the categories, I think we've got superb firms and really great individuals. And so getting to spend some time with them, getting to actually see really the breadth of talent that's out there, and to be able to help draw attention to some of those great companies and great people as well. That's a fantastic opportunity.
Totally agree. I think it really does help that community, that understanding, especially with your role. I suppose very different to other awards where people coming in person, there is a judging panel, they sit there, 5-minute presentation, 10-minute Q&A, which can be quite daunting when there's 4 or 5 judges. Do you think that is a process that is really benefits what we do?
So I think it feels very, very real for the people that are part of it. We've just been doing some of the judging already this morning. And yeah, I mean, it feels very concrete. It's not just about putting a form in with the right words. It's actually how far do we as a judging panel get to see the real people, the real leaders of companies, and how genuine their commitment is to, whatever it is that they excel in. So I think that does help. I think also for hopefully the people taking part in this and the firms taking part in this, you do get some exposure to some really great talent. So, really senior leaders at the stock exchange or Microsoft or wherever it might be. EY as well, yeah. And hopefully there's something back in that for them too.
Yeah, 100%. I think the whole point about it is that everybody wins in a sense. I mean, to be finalists this year, over 200 entries down to 88 is incredible. So we're talking about awards, we're talking about fintech in London. I suppose the question is, London, the fintech capital of the world, are we?
So there's definitely an argument for that. I mean, I think, the UK as a whole, so not just London, but the UK as a whole is consistently run as the second largest centre for fintech in the world in terms of capital and investment, all those questions after the US. So, London is punching massively above its weight. I think it's also been the place where an enormous amount of innovations occurred over the last decade, not just in terms of firms, but in terms of how, government, regulators, those financing the sector think about it. So yeah, I mean, I think if you want to run a business, if you want to be in fintech, if you want to be serious about growth and development, then I think the UK is a great place to be. London's a great place to be. But there's also plenty of other locations around London too. So, how we draw that talent in, how we celebrate it is just one aspect of innovation. And I think that's still an important thing though.
Yeah, 100%. And obviously very passionate about the regions as well. We need a really good, strong London, and that then feeds out across the UK. So we talk about these challenges to keep us there. What's maybe the one thing you think that we can all be doing? You think of number 10, what they're doing, but also as fintech companies.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think if you go back about a decade, there was an absolute laser focus, I think, between government, regulators, the industry themselves, all sorts of participants in the ecosystem about how do you make the UK the best in the world? How do you make London the centre of that operation as well? I think over the last couple of years, for all sorts of reasons, there's been a lot of things happening in the policy world. There's been a lot of things happening in terms of the industry itself. Maybe some of that focus has crept away. And I think we're now in a world where actually coming at the end of FinTech Week, what was really nice this year was it felt that focus was back. And I think you do need support from the very highest levels within government. You do need to have regulators really leaning in and really thinking about the benefits of FinTech, not just the risks. And then also it's about how do we see a community come together in terms of, not just the firms themselves, but those financing them, and how do they think about making sure that we really have a focus on growth, markets, customers, solving real problems. And whenever you see UK FinTech really addressing those kind of real problems that need to be solved, real opportunities, then you do see that absolute potential for growth, not just here in the UK, but operating globally.
It's so important that we all come together to take things forward. We know there are lots of challenges from around the world, trying to take the crown in a sense. We think of maybe the Middle East, Singapore. But when we think about scaling maybe in the UK, is that an area that maybe we need to maybe concentrate more on?
Yeah, so I mean, one of the things I think consistently comes back is in terms of a place to start fintech, a place to get those early stages of fintech. The UK is probably unrivaled anywhere in the world. It's when we get to that growth part of the story, how do we think about those second sort of capital raises, the really big injections that might be needed to really get a firm to start to grow and scale onto a global level, where historically sometimes that part of the market's felt like it's not quite there. And I think, there's a number of initiatives, ones that the government are running, ones that frankly are being sponsored by the city in terms of how do we think about that next stage of growth capital? How do we put to work assets that the UK has, whether that's around pension funds or other things? And I think, all of that is really, really important. But I'd also say we shouldn't underestimate, where are the spaces where we're strong? Where are there spaces where, we can argue to be the best in the world? Whether that's around how we deal with regulation, how we deal with things like financial crime, how do we think about aspects of the market like RegTech? And I think there's also a really important role in terms of coordination. It's one of the reasons I'm really, really pleased that I've been asked to chair the RegTech strategy group now for the City of London and Innovate Finance. And I think keeping that spirit of innovation alive is also really, really important alongside thinking just about pure funding.
Yeah, excellent. Well, look, appreciate your time. We know you've got 27 or 28 interviews to do today and to chair. So all the best for that. And thank you again.
Thank you very much, Matt.